Okay, so let's talk about doing carving or cutting or drawing onto our piece. So once you have your attachments made and you have polished up the form, you should then start thinking about your surface. I do want everyone to do some kind of carving, cutting, or drawing into the piece. So as you can see, I've smoothed my rim, I added my holes for my planter. I think I mentioned to this class that I used a pencil, or I didn't use a pencil for this, but if you have a pencil, that would be a good tool. I've added my feet, okay? And then I decided that I wanted a little bit of like kind of texture in here. So I actually used the back of a ballpoint pen to do this. All I did was pressed it in. Texture is best done when the piece is a little bit damp. If you want to do drawing on your piece, I actually recommend you let it firm up a little bit. You can tell that it's firm, or what we call leather hard, when you touch it and you can't really squish it that easily, but it still feels damp a little bit. So you'd really have to push hard to, get your fingerprints in there. That's a perfect time to start drawing into the piece. To draw in your piece, you could use a sharp pencil, you could use your skewer, okay? That would also be a good tool. So I used that to create this clean line. If you try to draw into your piece and you notice that it's looking really messy, or you're getting a lot of like pilling, almost like you would on a sweater or something, that tells me that your piece is a little wet to be drawing. So if you go to draw and you're not getting that crisp line, you might want to come back and clean it up later, or firm up the piece with a hair dryer or something like that. So I might then go in and do some more line work. Texture and surface work is not only going to make your piece look more interesting, but it will also give the glaze or whatever paint you choose another place to kind of sit, and also create more dimension in that way. So think about what the overall feel is that you want, okay? So I might add this again to my other side. Again, to do the texture, all I did was press it in. But just to show you a few more ideas, I had somebody in another class take the back of a makeup brush and repeatedly push it into the piece, and she got some really cool texture doing that. This person took a texture mat, but what if you took bubble wrap or something like that? Here they took some leaves and some pine needles, and here's some lace, and then they rubbed lace into it. This is a piece that I made a long time ago back in college, but it was sitting in my windowsill, and I thought, oh, this is kind of a cool example. I made this on the pottery wheel, and then I altered it. It's got this really cool glaze on it, but you can see I cut into the piece a lot. So what if you cut into the piece, or created some ragged edges? You could alter the shape of the rim with, you could try using your bamboo skewer for that, or a paper clip. You could also add textures on top of the attachment. So here, the artist added leaves that she cut out, and then she went and drew on top of them. Okay. And these have already been glazed. And I've showed this piece already. Another option would be, you could carve some texture on the inside. So again, the requirement is that you do some kind of drawing on the piece, but it could also be, drawing, carving, cutting, somehow altering the surface. And it could be something subtle, like this person just added a simple line with these little bees drawn, or it could be something more pronounced. If your lines are very, very shallow, you might not see them that well, so you've got to go in, enough that they're pronounced a little bit. And if you're not sure, you can always kind of show me too. So does anyone have questions about what that looks like, or what's required with the surface? Okay.